couple of formulas that have to do with the exponents that we've been working on in the last couple of sections. The first one, have you all had personal business finance?
Yeah.
So you probably know something about compound interest, right? This formula tells you how much money you will have altogether if you make an investment at a certain percentage rate and you keep it there for a certain amount of time. This is how much money you're going to have in the end when you're all done. What is P? P is the principal. You know from personal business, principal is the amount that you put into it to begin with, right? R up there is the rate. That's a percentage rate, and you put it in as a decimal. N stands for the number of times per year it's compounded. What does that mean? Number of times per year compounded.
If it was monthly, it'd be 12.
If it was monthly, it'd be 12. And what it means is how many times they're going to figure it out per year. Obviously, the more often they figure it out, the more interest you get. A little more interest, a little more interest. And T, that's how long, the time of investment. How long are you going to keep it in there for? In years. So that one you're probably familiar with. The half-life one, anybody in chemistry know what half-life is? Randall?
Well, half-life is for, well, wait, are we talking about with periodic elements?
Radioactivity.
Then I do not know.
No? Ben?
The time it takes for half of something to go to half.
Right, to decay. The half-life is the amount of time it takes for half of it to decay, half of the radiation to dissipate. So after one half-life, it only has half the radiation it started with. So this formula will figure out N0 is how much you start with. The H in the formula is the half-life of that particular substance. And T, again, it's the amount of time. Then the other one has to do with doubling time, and that one is more like bacteria, for instance. How long, like if you feel yourself getting sick and you know the doubling time for a bacteria is 1 hour. If I start with 5 bacteria, after 1 hour, how many will you have? 10, and then after another 20, and right? So that's what this one has to do with. N0 is the original number you start with. T is the time that you're going to look at, like 1 day or 5. And D is the doubling time of that particular bacteria. So we're going to use one of two things. We're going to either use exponents or logarithms. We just got done with logarithms. We're going to use one of those two things to solve problems today. So I am on page